All right, let's go over some of these pictures of the trucking career. This first one's coming up is Fresh Point. It's down in Huntsville, Alabama. That was when my route from Nashville to Huntsville. Um, some of the load. I wish I had more pictures, but I don't. One of my favorite ladies, she was a cook at Huntsville, Alabama University. That's down in Pulaski, Tennessee. Now here I am, moved to Orlando, Florida. So this is in Orlando in the warehouse at Costgrove. Like I said, I was both behind the wheel and in the warehouse. Enjoyed my time there. It was cool. They had 2 straights in that. There I am. Switched over to HD Supply White Cap. So some of these are random. I tried to put it in as best order as I could. Again, still at HD. A lot of construction sites. That was the majority of the stuff. TMC, Frostproof. So there I am in the TMC truck, my firstborn. He was just born and I was over the road. Switched over to Cook. It's up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That was in orientation. Shout out to my man Rocky up there. That's at a Culver's in Minnesota. So just some random Lowell spinners, repping the home team. Now I'm at Wiley, delivering glass. That's actually in Florida. It was on that was a trip to get me home. I love the glass. I really enjoy glass. Anybody out there looking to get into it's a good, glass is fun. It's an old Cook, so some of them are a little bit out of order. This is still Cook, I believe. Yeah, that's still Cook. I think I was in Delaware to an Amish town. Yeah, that's going into Delaware from Maryland, I believe. CRST, my baby. That was my lease. This was their training orientation. They had you see if you knew how to throw chains and securement, and this was part of their, teaching you how to run your routes and all that good stuff. I love CRST. That was my truck I picked up in Iowa. That's in Iowa. That's when I was just getting a truck, so my stuff was kind of just all over the place. But for those who've never been in the back of a sleeper, that's your sleeper. Had a 10-speed Freightliner, loved it. This was me on my way to go get a trailer that some driver left, and that's how he left it. So that's me picking up all the stuff he just left in the middle of this lot, just like that. Binders all over the place, straps all over the place, just no respect, no consideration. But it is what it is. It was what it was. That's me linking up with my buddy Felix. We were in Arizona or New Mexico. We found each other on the road. That's in Savannah, Georgia. This is in Florida, the Florida-Georgia line. I was delivering some stuff to a rail yard, or a railroad crossing that they were fixing. So just some of the tight spots you got to get into. That's what they unloaded it with. That's for the railroad. That was up in Jacksonville. Picked up a load. This was in the beginning stages of me with CRST when I was losing a lot of money because I was trying to stay closer to home. And then this is the port in Georgia, in Savannah. It's down in Florida at a Love's off of 95. Big old storm was coming in. This here was in Richmond, Virginia. That paid really good. That was always like a 4 or 5 stop load. I think that load was going to Michigan, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, all that. I like that stop. That was a good stop right there. Me, I was growing my hair out, had dreads for a little quick minute, cut them off. Heads down in Florida, in Orlando. It's lumber, I believe. Lumber or rolled roofing. Might have been rolled roofing, actually. Some of the things we go through out there, blown tires, we all know. If you're a trucker, you've experienced it. It's not a bad one, actually. That was in Houston, Texas. Sat there for almost 8 hours. There was 55 trucks ahead of me. You know, truck stop. Can't get it in the trash can. That's a burnt down trailer on the side of the road. Just some of the stuff you see out there. 104 degrees. Picked up my first military load. And it was 104 degrees. I was in Florida, right outside of Gainesville. I really enjoyed that too, getting military. I had about 4 or 5 downtown Orlando, Philadelphia, where my family, my mother's side's from. The random truck stop. This is how I eventually got the back of my truck once I got it. My dad built that thing for storage. I try to keep my truck as nice. I had my binders under there, kept stuff underneath the trailer. I utilized whatever I could, to make things work. Those were our stakes. That's how I would keep my truck nice and neat. All my kids have been in the truck, but I don't have pictures of all of them. This was him spending the weekend in the truck with me. We went up to Savannah. He's bored. This is another military load pickup. Forget where. It might have been Kentucky or something like that. Or it was going to Kentucky, I believe. That was just me doing a load check on the side of the highway, making sure my binders were still tight. I really enjoyed the military loads. They paid really well. Those were counterweights for Volvo construction machines. See the big Volvos. Those were counterweights for that. Had to get some oil on the road because my 5th wheel was dry. This is back in Richmond, Virginia. No, that was in Detroit actually. I was picking up a foil. Detroit, Michigan. That was a shotgun style. All y'all know is shotgun suicide, night of the sky. That was up in Michigan, Grayling. Just a random mountain. See some beautiful things out there. That's in Shreveport, Louisiana. I just know where a lot of these are at. Really prided myself on my tarping job. Shout out to TMC. They make sure you know how to tarp. You take pride in your work. Looks like a present. Another military load. I think that was going down to outside of New Orleans. I think it was like Lake Charles, Louisiana was going to. That's HKK Trucking. That was the local trucking job that I had here in Orlando. That's at Cape Canaveral. Then this is Modern Welding. You can see the rear view. I had an oversized load. That was what they welded to make. This was going to a company. And something I drove. This is propane. This is my last and current job. This was up in Tallahassee during the hurricane last year. I went up to help out. So you get to see a lot of the stuff. I was up there for a week, helping out, getting people back full so they can run their generators. And there's a lot of obstacles we had to go through up there, down power lines. But I really enjoyed it. So I just wanted to make this video of some of the pictures of. I had a lot more, but like I said, I had them on my old Facebook, and for whatever reason, once I deleted the Facebook, they didn't store on my phone. So this is what I could find just to show some of the things and some of the views that I experienced out there. I appreciate y'all, joining into the channel, and I just wanted to share some of my trucking journey and continue on with this channel and what I want to post. Hope y'all have a blessed day, and